Hi there, my name is Mark Maxwell. I'm a Director of Product Management for the SMB business line, that's small and medium businesses, with Ooma. Today we're going to take some time to give you a primer and discuss kind of some of the basics behind VoIP, or Voice over Internet Protocol. So we like to call this session VoIP 101. Think of it as all of the basics of VoIP. As a matter of housekeeping, since this is an introductory class, do not be afraid to ask any questions. Go ahead and enter any and all questions in the text box. We'll try to get to them at the end of the session, and if we don't manage to get to them in this live session, we will certainly follow up. Because again, this is an introductory class, VoIP 101, so no question is a dumb question. With that, let's go ahead and jump in. There are three fundamental types of business phone service today. That's landline. Those are traditional phone service that's transmitted over copper phone lines. That's the original concept of phone service, oftentimes referred to as POTS or plain old telephone service. And that's the same technology that was used for your grandma's black rotary phone. That's that's just traditional phone service over copper phone lines. The next type of business phone service that we see in the markets today is mobile service. And that's what we know as cell phones or cellular service. Mobile service is a wireless service that's transmitted over cellular networks. Then the third type of business phone service that we see today, and what we're really going to spend the bulk of our time discussing today, is what's known as VoIP, or Voice over Internet Protocol. VoIP is internet-based phone service that's accessed via either a smart internet phone, an app on your smartphone, or an app on your computer. So we'll spend a little bit more time digging into all of those different types of access points within VoIP. But again, we just wanted to rehash and remind everybody of the three types of phone service that is available today. Landline, the traditional plain old telephone service over copper wires that dates back to grandma's black rotary phone. Mobile, which is over cellular networks, and then VoIP, which is over the internet. So what is VoIP and how does it work? Well, VoIP itself is an acronym. That's Voice over Internet Protocol, more commonly known as phone service over the internet. If you've recently used Zoom or any other video conferencing type of tool, or if perhaps your children are at home doing remote school given the current pandemic conditions, that's all VoIP. So you may already be using VoIP on a regular basis. You may be very familiar with VoIP. If you've got a decent internet connection, you can get phone service delivered through that connection instead of via your traditional local phone company. So VoIP's pretty interesting. It's technology, it's over the internet, and it's simply using the internet to deliver data that happens to be, in many cases, audio as your voice. In some cases, it adds video and other things, but it's transmitting your voice as data over the internet from one device to another. One of the cool things about VoIP is you can be on a VoIP device at your end, but if you're just using phone service, the person at the other end can be on a cellular phone, a traditional landline phone. It doesn't matter. Let's go over a little bit of the history of VoIP as well. So VoIP started out years ago, back, probably in the 1980s, back in the early days of the internet, as a way, frankly, that it started humorously as hackers created VoIP to bypass having to pay phone companies. So they created applications and leveraged internet networking capabilities to transmit voice as data. And so today, years later, it's actually become a standardized and regulated market of providing phone service over the internet. So to use VoIP, you need a VoIP device, if you will, at your end. That device can be a physical phone that is set up for the internet. That's an IP phone. It can be an application on a smartphone or on your PC, like your laptop. So let's go a little bit deeper into how VoIP actually works and why it's so interesting, so important, and great for businesses today. So while I mentioned that VoIP perhaps started out as a tool that hackers and IT nerds, if you will, or geeks used to bypass expensive phone bills from traditional phone companies, VoIP today is a very mature product concept. It's a mature business. I did mention that it's now a regulated service, and thus its adoption is incredibly widespread. So let's look at a couple of data points of just VoIP adoption that we've seen and that will continue over the next few years. So 50% of IT leaders have said that they're going to stop or have stopped purchasing traditional on-premise communications tools as recently as 2018. They're going more and more to VoIP tools, as we see by that next data point. 90% of IT leaders will stop purchasing on-premise communication tools by the end of 2021. That's just next year. That's just a few short months from now. In all of these cases, what folks are replacing with is one version or another of VoIP, of cloud-based, internet-based phone service. It's projected worldwide that there will be over 200 billion business VoIP users and subscribers by the end of this calendar year, and that may have actually accelerated with the global pandemic that we've experienced the last few months. And in the United States alone, we see VoIP residential telephone lines have grown to, from 28 million households to, 3 times that by 2018. Business VoIP adoption has also grown dramatically over that same time period. Primary reason for the VoIP adoption globally has been reduced costs and ease of use. So why have we seen a rapid adoption of VoIP in the last 5 years or so? As I mentioned, VoIP itself as a concept has existed for 35, 40 years, but recently we've seen a rapid rise in VoIP adoption, particularly with business customers. And a lot of that has to do with an overall comfort and migration to cloud-based systems and technologies. But in particular with VoIP as an internet-based phone service, that migration is due to ease of use, mobility, and by mobility we mean that literally a business or someone who's got a business number can work from anywhere, from home, from the road, from a hotel, or from the office, simply by logging in, accessing their VoIP account as they would any other internet-based tool. Another reason, there's actually more features. So while VoIP is easier to use and less expensive than traditional phone systems, oftentimes you can get much more sophisticated features, certainly for smaller businesses and on smaller systems. There's an economic argument or case to be made for migrating to VoIP, and that's that businesses see that they can save, anywhere from 30 to 60% over their previous business phone solution by switching to a VoIP-based solution. There's an accuracy. With VoIP, you get very sophisticated call logs that allows you to track activity, provide accurate billing to clients, to departments, to customers. And VoIP is simply really easy to manage, and perhaps most importantly is the ability to port numbers. So when you switch to a VoIP service, you can take your existing landline number with you. So I mentioned that two of the biggest reasons for switching to a VoIP-based system are ease of use and cost savings. Cost savings is pretty straightforward. That's pretty black and white. But let's talk a little bit more about ease of use. With a landline, all phones have to be hardwired. They've got to have a phone jack. You've got to run wiring, cabling, whatever through your office, through either the walls or the cubicles, depending on how your environment is set up. And you have to physically be there to receive a call. So landline is tricky. Landline is, I think, going the way of the dinosaurs. With mobile, you certainly have the flexibility and convenience of being able to be anywhere to take to take a call, to make a call, etc. But there are some restrictions within the mobile environment that cellular networks just have limitations. One of the biggest ones is transferring calls. You simply really can't do that effectively on a mobile or cellular-based environment, which is where VoIP comes into play. So anywhere that you have the internet, you can have your VoIP phone system, whether it's at your home via Wi-Fi, an app on your mobile phone, your smartphone, while you're out in the field or on the road. You can literally take an internet-based phone, so an IP phone that you may plug into Ethernet at your office, and bring it anywhere else that has an Ethernet jack and plug it in, or connect via Wi-Fi. Additionally, with VoIP systems, you can run an app on your laptop or your PC and turn that device, your laptop, literally into a telephone. So VoIP just gives you vast increase in flexibility of how to use and where to use, while still making it incredibly easy to use. So we've discussed a little bit about how VoIP is really easy to use for you as the business owner. Let's also talk a little bit about VoIP's ease of use for calls that are coming into your business and need to be handled. So there's three key statistics, really interesting statistics, I think, that everyone should be aware of when we're talking about business calls. Typical call that comes into a business has a couple of things that can happen. They can get answered, put on hold, maybe they get answered by an automated menu or virtual receptionist. So let's discuss a little bit about that. Data shows that the average caller will hang up when they're on hold for 90 seconds. We've also discovered that the average time that a caller is on hold until their call is connected in typical businesses is 36 seconds. And the average length of a phone menu is 15 seconds. So we just, with those stats, what you can tell is you've got frankly, a large likelihood of never speaking to people who are calling you trying to reach your business. Fascinating. So if they call 15 seconds on a menu to get through, then more time until they've gotten connected, and then if they don't reach you immediately, frustration level builds up. You've lost that potential customer after a minute and a half. VoIP offers a lot of really cool features and benefits, particularly for small businesses, that help reduce those times that an inbound call is waiting to reach its destination, and as a result, help you increase your business. Probably the biggest feature is what's oftentimes referred to as find me or follow me. That's the ability for you to have your phone ring wherever you are, literally. And while that may seem daunting at some times, it can actually be quite useful. So you can leverage your desk phone when you're at the office. You can leverage a smart app on your smartphone, or you can leverage an app on your smartphone when you're out in the field or away from the office, and you can even set up and take and receive calls, place calls via your laptop if you're traveling on the road. Some of the other things that make a VoIP system quite useful and handy for a small business are the ability to handle phone calls, meaning you can set up routing, you can set up ring groups, you can set up ability for an inbound call to sequence and route through correctly the way you want that call to be handled without the caller themselves having to listen to a sequence of menus, push a bunch of buttons, etc. Some of the other things that are really useful for small businesses are conference calling, SMS-based messages, mobile capabilities, and particularly in these days, and I think that right now that 57% for remote work might actually be significantly higher. But VoIP allows you to literally operate your business from anywhere and allow your team to participate remotely as if they were still together, and that's a limitation that a traditional landline service simply just physically can't offer. So we've talked a little bit about the ease of use or convenience of VoIP. Now let's cut to the chase and talk about the cost savings associated with VoIP. So if we've spent some time on the qualitative nature of VoIP, let's talk about the quantitative nature. And frankly, statistics simply don't lie. 40% savings over local calls when you switch to a VoIP service. 90% savings on international calls. 90% savings and reduction in startup cost for a small business over setting up a traditional phone system. 30% reduction in teleconferencing expenses by integrating voice, online conferencing capabilities. And frankly, that statistic may be a little bit outdated. I think we've seen even greater improvements in the cost of teleconferencing and video conferencing capabilities over the last few months during this global pandemic. On average, we see a business with 30 employees or 30 users saving $1,200 a month by using VoIP versus a traditional system. $1,200 a month. That's a big savings. For a small business, $1,200 can go a long, long ways. And what we also see is that businesses that are using VoIP with a computer are saving even more than that on their mobile bills and long distance. So there's a lot of cost saving and dollars to be saved by switching from a traditional phone system to a VoIP-based system. Additionally, a VoIP system can help you save time. And as we all know, time is money. So a VoIP system can, with a business, that same 30 employee business, can save an average of 30 call minutes per day. So that makes VoIP almost a no-brainer over a traditional phone system. So we've been discussing VoIP in general, but now I'd like to discuss Ooma in particular. As you may be aware, or as you would quickly learn, there's a lot of different VoIP service providers out there. Let me share with you a little bit of why I think Ooma should be your top choice. So don't take it from me, though. Ooma is the proven leader. PC Magazine readers have rated Ooma #1 over our competition 7 years in a row. And some of those other names listed there are some pretty well-known big companies, everything from RingCentral and Google to Cisco, AT&T, Comcast. There's some big players in the space, but Ooma, we earn our kudos every single day. We like to think that Ooma is the perfect business solution, and that it's perfect whether or not you are a business that has 2 employees, 20 employees, or 200 plus employees. Ooma was built to really service the smallest of small businesses while being robust enough for very large businesses. So with the Ooma system, Ooma Office, you can create more sales opportunities. You can reduce and manage your operational costs. You can run your business better with features specifically designed for you that have been optimized and personalized for your business situation. Ooma offers several key features and benefits, but three that I wanted to stress to you are our inbound call automation. It's really simple and easy to set up a virtual receptionist so you never miss a call, never miss an opportunity. You can customize the routing, you can customize what the messages are, etc. And you can do this whether or not you're in a company that has 2 employees or 200. Ooma makes it really easy to work from anywhere. Between our desktop app for our Ooma Office Pro product, our mobile app that's available to Ooma Office customers, and our sophisticated IP phone capabilities and devices, we literally make it really easy for you to work from anywhere that you've got an internet connection. And then last but not least, our flexible setup options make it really easy for your business to get up and running. The litmus test that I like to use for things and that I did with my first Ooma system was I brought it home, I handed it to one of my sons, who at the time was 12 years old. Didn't give him much explanation, just told him to play with it and see if he could set it up. 8 minutes later, he had dial tone and we were off and running. So if a 12-year-old can do it, adults should be able to do it. Although these days maybe 12-year-olds know more about tech than than adults do, so perhaps we can get some assistance there. Maybe the 12-year-olds can help us out. But my point is, the Ooma system is incredibly straightforward. While it's really, really robust and really powerful under the hood, it's a really simple to use interface concept. You'll be up and running in no time. And while Ooma Office offers many, many dozens of features, and I'll go over a high-level list of all of those in a minute, I did want to call out a few of my favorite features, such as Call Park, which is what I like to refer to as hold on steroids, where you can move numerous calls off to a parking spot versus putting them on hold on a live line. Then you can retrieve them at your convenience. This feature is fantastic for a small business that has busy spikes in traffic, say a pizza parlor that's taking a ton of orders at halftime on the Super Bowl, or perhaps an auto repair shop that gets bursty activity first thing in the day and perhaps the end of the day, but is quiet perhaps the rest of the day. Ring Groups is another feature that I absolutely love. Ring Groups allows you to have an inbound call ring to multiple extensions or employees, either simultaneously or sequentially. So it's a really great way to make sure that important calls never get missed. Call blocking is a fantastic feature. Our call blocking capabilities allow you to block unwanted calls from spammers, from robodialers, etc. It's really easy to set up. You can even create your own custom block list for your business or account. And last but not least, texting. Within Ooma Office, within our mobile app, you can SMS with customers. You can include images. It's a very convenient way for certain businesses that do communicate with their customers that way to communicate. And as great as Ooma Office is from a feature set, we are incredibly business friendly. So Ooma doesn't require contracts, ever. We believe that you're going to be so delighted with your Ooma Office service that we're confident we don't need to lock you in. You can cancel your service at any time, although we don't think you'll want to. We also offer value-based pricing. Most of our competitors, many of them have scaled pricing models with different features, that are a la carted in, that essentially they nickel and dime you. With Ooma, all employees in your business have access to the same feature set at the same price on a per month basis. And then last but not least, and perhaps most important to Ooma Office and the Ooma service, is our 24/7 free customer support. So Ooma makes our customer support available to you 24/7 because we know that our customers are working 24/7. A lot of our competitors simply offer support from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday business hours, but we know that that Ooma customers and business owners are hardworking and are, may need help at any time of day, any day of the week. I mentioned a second ago that Ooma Office literally has dozens of features. Here's a more comprehensive list. I highlighted a few of my favorites, but here's a comprehensive list. I'm going to let this slide just stay up here for a minute so you can take a look. I'll call out a few things. As I mentioned, the Ooma Office, the basic service includes call park, call blocking, ring groups, extension dialing, voicemail, etc. Our smartphone app is available to all Ooma users, and that includes SMS messaging, some other interesting features like call flip and even call forwarding from the smartphone or from your mobile device. And then our Office Pro service tier offers a few more interesting features like call recording, voicemail transcription, and a desktop app to leverage your PC or laptop as a phone. Again, I'll leave this list up for another couple of seconds. So I want to show you this chart just to show how the savings with the Ooma Office compare to another major carrier that's a household name. This is the example of a 5-user company that pays over $70 a month per user. With Ooma Office, they'd be at $19.95 a user in the US, or $24.95 at our Ooma Office Pro tier. You can see over an annualized basis, that's a savings of $3,000 or 70%. That's significant. Those dollars add up. In this economic climate, every dollar counts. So, again, it's not only a great system, but it also saves your business money. So we're almost out of time, and I did want to answer a question or two because we've gotten some good ones in. So let me just leave this customer testimonial up for a few seconds. Again, don't take Ooma's word for it. Hear what our customers are saying. So here's another customer testimonial. What you should be seeing is a recurring theme that customers clamor about our ease of use and our cost savings, which that combination should be music to any small business owner's ears. And here's just one more customer testimonial stressing the ease of use and convenience of our system with a remote and distributed workforce. We're just about at our time limit for today, so let me thank you all once again for joining. There's some great questions here, so we'll respond to those all offline. But in the meantime, if you've got further questions, please visit us at ooma.com/small-business-phone-systems, the URL on the screen, or simply call us at 866-652-7666. Thanks again for your time today. We really appreciate you being interested in Ooma. Let us know how we can help your business perform more efficiently, more effectively, and more economically.